Today, we're going to break down one of the most insane rescue missions I've ever seen. How Mr. Beast and his team actually set out to save 1,000 animals, many of them right on the brink of death. So, let's just get right into it.
It all kicks off with this one single number, 1,000. I mean, that's a goal so big it almost sounds made up.
And look, we're not just talking about writing a check here. This was about saving 1,000 individual animals, each one needing direct, hands-on help.
So that's the big question, right? How on earth did they pull it off? Well, it wasn't one single event. It was this massive, worldwide effort. We're going to break down their whole strategy into 3 key parts. First up, high-stakes medical care. This is where the team really got their hands dirty with actual life-or-death procedures for animals that were in immediate danger.
And right out of the gate, the very first rescue sets the tone for the whole thing. The stakes weren't just high, they were as real as it gets. This lion's life completely depended on an emergency surgery. This was not some routine checkup.
So, you might be wondering, how can a toothache be so dangerous for a lion? Well, because a dental abscess is anything but a simple toothache. That bacteria can travel through the bloodstream, attack vital organs, making this procedure genuinely life-saving.
And the mission? It was a total success. After they figured out what was wrong, the vets did this incredibly complex root canal while the lion was sedated, and just a little while later, she was released back into the sanctuary, totally healthy and out of danger.
This hands-on approach kept going, but the tech got even more impressive. Now, we got to be clear about the 2 different kinds of darts they're using here. For the rhinos, they used tranquilizer darts so they could move them safely. But for the giraffes, they were targeted with something completely different, vaccine darts fired from a helicopter.
And the impact here was just massive. They vaccinated 70 giraffes against diseases that have a 100% kill rate. I mean, think about that for a second. Every single dart that landed was a life saved. This was an incredibly efficient way to protect an entire population.
Okay, so that's the high-stakes medical stuff. But their next strategy went way beyond individual treatment. This was all about fixing the environment itself, creating safe havens, and taking on these unbelievable journeys to give animals a new shot at life.
Now, the rhino mission was really complex. You see, the anti-poaching fences that were supposed to protect them were also trapping them, leading to the stronger rhinos killing the weaker ones. So the solution was to move the weaker rhinos to their own safe territory. And the tech they used? Absolutely incredible. GPS collars that could detect poachers, and even microchips inside their horns to track them on the black market.
And then there's this. Talk about a journey. 3 lions, rescued from a zoo in war-torn Ukraine, were flown over 7,000 miles on a stripped-down cargo plane. Their final destination? A massive 14-acre sanctuary in South Africa. It was literally a journey from a war zone to freedom. But, not every problem was a life-or-death surgery. Sometimes it was just weirdly complicated. Everybody, meet Stompy. He's an emu who lived with horses and kinda seemed to think he was one of them. The problem is, he was in constant danger of being, stepped on by his much bigger friends.
So what do you do for an emu with an identity crisis? You build him his own safe space. They teamed up with Lowe's and built a brand new emu sanctuary from scratch, with trees, plenty of space, and even a new emu buddy so Stompy could live safely.
All right, for their third and final strategy, things get a little closer to home. This part highlights the incredible power of community in finding forever homes for animals stuck in shelters.
So the team basically took over a shelter with one goal: find homes for 100 dogs. And to make that happen, they removed the biggest hurdles for people looking to adopt. They covered all the adoption fees and even all future medical bills. They basically made it impossible to say no.
But there was a pretty big challenge. Puppies, as you can imagine, get adopted way more often, which leaves a lot of the senior dogs behind. And in an overcrowded shelter, that can be a death sentence for these older animals. But on this day, that changed. This is where we meet Blue, a super gentle 10-year-old dog just waiting for a home. And because of this event, he found a family that was specifically looking for an older, more chill companion. It was a perfect match, and it just proves every single dog deserves a chance. The adoptions didn't stop with dogs, oh no. Next up were miniature horses, and this quote from an adopter who came for 1 and left with 2, well, it just perfectly captures the joy of the whole day. And you have to understand, the stakes here were sky high. These weren't just unwanted pets.
They were rescued from an auction where their fate was to be sold for food. But instead of that, every single one of them found a loving home.
So we've covered the big strategies, right? But that still leaves hundreds of animals to go to hit that 1,000 goal. The final push was just this incredible, rapid-fire series of rescues from all over the world.
I mean, the scale of this is just wild. We're talking 200 animals released in the Amazon, including a super rare silky anteater, 20 foxes saved from being turned into fur coats, a wolf named Draco who'd been shot but learned to run again, an owl that got hit by a car, a kangaroo that needed a surrogate mom, a duck with a prosthetic beak. The list is just unbelievable.
And to get them over that 1,000 finish line, the team didn't just stop with hands-on rescues. They also funded the care for over 200 more animals at 4 different rescue organizations, making sure their impact was felt even wider.
So, they did it. 1,000 animals saved. They used everything from surgery and relocation to building sanctuaries and driving adoptions. It's proof of what's possible when you combine focus and resources. And it kind of leaves all of us with one final, really important question. If one team can do all of this, what's it going to take for the rest of us to save the next 1,000?